Hi, this is Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book on tape to play for you. Today's book is Ducktales, Launchpad, Daring Raid for 1987. So let's get started.
This is the story of Launchpad's daring raid. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. High in the mountains, Scrooge McDuck was riding a train filled with his most prized possession. He was even using it to play a game with his nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Gold, glorious gold. You know what I like about this stuff, lads? The nuggets even make good checker pieces.
Just as Scrooge was about to make a move, the train suddenly screeched to a stop. Huey rushed to the window.
The tracks are covered by boulders. We're stopped.
Scrooge radioed for help.
Launchpad, my train has been trapped by a rock slide outside Duckburg. Get here as fast as you can, before any thieves arrive.
The message reached Launchpad McQuack as he was flying in his old biplane.
On my way, Mr. McD. Soon as I drop something off for the Forest Service.
He zoomed over a raging fire and pulled a lever, dumping gallons of water onto the flames. As Launchpad took off for the mountains, he heard the firefighters cheering below. Launchpad landed beside the train and began tugging at the boulders.
I can't budge these babies an inch.
Suddenly, a sleek helicopter set down near Scrooge and the boys. Gyro Gearloose jumped out.
I was out testing my latest invention when I heard your call for help, Mr. McDuck.
Dewey gazed at the chopper.
Raid helicopter, Gyro.
Oh, that's not my latest invention. This is.
He pointed to the pilot climbing out of the helicopter. It was a robot. The robot bowed.
My name is Armstrong. I am your friend.
Gyro told them that his invention could do anything he asked him to do.
What's this? Armstrong, clear the tracks.
Armstrong zipped up to the pile of rocks. His mechanical arm shot out, and he tossed the boulders aside as if they were pebbles. Scrooge turned to Launchpad.
It would have taken you the rest of your life to move those rocks.
Maybe longer.
Launchpad hung his head. When the train made it back to Duckburg, Scrooge invited Gyro to his mansion.
If Armstrong is as great as you claim, we can produce hundreds of robots and make a fortune selling them. Show me what else he can do.
Commanded by Gyro, Armstrong vacuumed the whole house in less than a minute. Then, in a flash, he washed Scrooge's limousine and put it in the garage. Huey gaped.
Wow, he opened the automatic door by remote control just by looking at it.
That evening, as Armstrong served dinner, Launchpad stared into his soup.
Robots might be all right for housework, but some jobs take courage and daring do. Flying, for instance.
Scrooge's face lit up.
Now there's an idea. A flying contest between you and Armstrong. We'll make it a big event and invite the press. Not to mention potential buyers. How about it, Launchpad?
Don't count on selling too many after tomorrow, Mr. McD. I'll show this town what old metal pants is made of.
The next day, everyone in Duckburg showed up for the race. As Launchpad and Armstrong waited in their helicopters, Scrooge took his place at the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever air race between man and machine. Ready, set, go!
At the first turn, Armstrong used a mechanical arm to slingshot around the pole. As the robot darted into the lead, Launchpad growled.
There's more to flying than tricks, Fusebox Brain.
On the next turn, Armstrong missed the pole and Launchpad pulled ahead.
Ah! So robots can make mistakes.
As Launchpad was looking back at Armstrong, he swerved and plowed straight through a half-finished billboard.
I can't see. My windshield's covered with paint.
His chopper spun out of control and crashed through a barn, finally coming to rest in a mud pit. As Launchpad crawled out of the wreck, he heard cheers in the distance. Armstrong had won the race. Later, Launchpad limped to Scrooge's mansion. Scrooge met him at the door.
We've got dozens of orders for Armstrong robots. I couldn't have done it without you. Take a nice vacation.
With nothing to do, Launchpad headed for the nephew's room. But when he looked in, Armstrong was doing their homework for them. Huey hugged the robot.
You're the best friend a kid could have.
It was exactly what the boys used to call Launchpad. He turned around and walked away. The next morning, Scrooge decided to see if Armstrong could run his business as well as his house. He took the robot to his office, and in no time, Armstrong was hard at work, using his laser beam eyes to operate every typewriter and adding machine in the room. Scrooge put his feet up on his desk.
Armstrong is the best thing that ever happened to me. If I take a little nap now, I wonder how much richer I'll be when I wake up.
He pushed his hat down over his eyes and nodded off. When Scrooge woke up, it was dark outside.
It must be way past closing time. Everyone's gone.
Then Scrooge noticed that his vault door was open.
I'm being robbed.
But when he peered inside, all he saw was Gyro's robot.
Armstrong, it's just you. What are you doing?
Counting money, Mr. McDuck.
His eyes glowed red as he approached Scrooge.
Counting my money.
A little while later, Gyro was tinkering in his barn workshop when he heard Scrooge's voice behind him.
Gyro, we have a big problem.
The inventor turned and gasped. Armstrong was holding Scrooge captive. Armstrong pushed Gyro and Scrooge into a closet and put a force field across the door. Gyro slumped in the corner.
Mr. McDuck, we have a bigger problem than you think. From here, Armstrong can operate anything powered by electricity using his own remote control. No one can stop him from doing anything he wants.
The next morning, Huey, Dewey, and Louie ran down to breakfast. To their surprise, Scrooge wasn't there. The butler told them that his bed hadn't been slept in either. Dewey scratched his head.
Uncle Scrooge would call if something came up. I know. Let's ask Armstrong to find him.
But when they searched for the robot, he was nowhere to be found. Dewey snapped his fingers.
They must be at Gyro's. Let's give him a call.
Dewey listened to the phone ring 10 times before someone answered.
Hello, Gyro? Have you seen Uncle Scrooge?
I don't know where he is. I have work to do, so leave me alone and don't come over here.
Dewey heard Gyro slam down the receiver. He stared at his brothers in shock.
Something's wrong. Gyro would never talk to us like that. We better get over there.
When the music stops, turn the cassette over.
Soon the nephews were racing toward gyros. As they rode past the toy store, several toy planes and tanks came buzzing to life. The machines darted after the boys, and one airplane just missed hitting Dewey.
Hey! Someone's out to get us!
Huey swerved, just missing a tank in his path.
Yeah, we're being attacked by remote control. Let's get out of here!
The boys headed for a grove of trees. Each nephew took a different route around it, and the planes split up to follow them. On the far side, the boys joined up again, and the planes crashed head-on, exploding in the air. With the tanks still rolling after them, Huey skidded to a stop.
Why are we afraid? They're only toys.
He ran after the tanks and flipped them over on their backs, their wheels still whirring. Dewey scowled.
Who do we know with remote control powers? It's gotta be Armstrong. I bet he was imitating Gyro on the phone, too.
Huey jumped back on his bike.
We better hurry.
Arriving at Gyro's barn, the nephews were surprised to see how different everything looked. Huey turned to his brothers.
When did Gyro install all these fences and cameras?
When they started to push their bikes through the gate, beams of light flashed across the opening. Their tires burst, and the front wheels melted into a heap. As the boys jumped back from their smoking bikes, Armstrong appeared at the door.
You cannot harm me. Get away from here.
He blasted a laser beam at their feet. The boys raced off with Dewey leading the way.
I know only one person who's crazy enough to face that robot.
Dewey ran up to Launchpad as he was leaving his house.
Armstrong's gone haywire. He's holding Gyro and Uncle Scrooge captive.
So, the metal miracle got his wires crossed, eh?
When Louie explained that Armstrong had surrounded Gyro's barn with an electric fence and laser beams, Launchpad smiled.
No problem. We'll just use my old biplane to fly in.
While Launchpad and the boys were in the air, Dewey relaxed for a moment.
It's a good thing this plane is so simple. Armstrong can operate anything with electronics in it. He'd be able to maneuver those jets behind us without any trouble.
While adjusting his goggles, Launchpad glanced back.
Those jets are headed this way, and since they don't have any pilots, I think I know who's controlling them.
Suddenly, each jet fired a missile at the biplane. Launchpad tried to dodge them, and his control stick came loose in his hand. As the biplane zigzagged wildly, Huey cheered.
We just escaped 2 missiles!
With the last missile closing in on them, Launchpad reattached the control stick and pulled the plane into a loop. He lured the missile in a circle until it hit one of the remote-controlled fighters. With a tremendous explosion, all 3 jets were blown out of the sky. Launchpad swooped toward Gyro's barn, but before he could land, a laser beam zapped his biplane. The plane crashed on the roof, crushing the satellite dishes and cutting off the power. Launchpad crawled out.
Better let me go first, little buddies.
He unrolled a rope ladder and started down.
That dumb robot probably doesn't have a clue that we're here.
Just then, Armstrong burst through the barn door and headed toward Launchpad, his lasers blasting. Launchpad began scrambling back up the ladder.
Yikes! Maybe I better rethink this.
He was almost inside his biplane when he felt something grab his ankle. It was Armstrong. The robot slowly pulled Launchpad toward him. In desperation, Launchpad grabbed the only thing he could reach, the plane's water release lever. Suddenly, gallons of water poured out, streaming down the roof onto Armstrong. The robot shuddered and shorted out, collapsing in a shower of sparks. Huey leaped out of the biplane and hugged Launchpad.
You're a hero!
Freed from their prison, Scrooge and Gyro raced out of the barn. Scrooge shook Launchpad's hand.
I was wrong to think any tin-brained tub of bolts could replace you. You're back on my payroll, and I'm raising your salary, 10 cents an hour.
Launchpad grinned.
Thanks, Mr. McD. It's nice to be needed.
So that was Ducktales, Launchpad, Daring Raid for 1987. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day. And our next book will be Ducktales Dinosaur Duck.